money roll, yeah, I'm looking at the bank statements, I do not want to tell, yeah, nuts with my gang, you be just a stain, cover on my chain.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Hope you guys are having a great day as usual. Now, since The Dark Knight is turning 10 this year, I know, I can't believe it, guys. 10 years old, how time flies, I can't believe it. But since The Dark Knight turned 10 this year, I'm going to be doing a little bit of a video reaction to not The Dark Knight, but The Dark Knight Rises, the last clip of the movie, just because it's a little bit ambiguous and people kind of argue about back and forth whether or not it's real or whether or not it's Alfred's dream. I'm going to do a little bit of explaining after the clip, but this movie, I think the 2000s kind of solidified Chris Nolan as a great director with Insomnia, The Prestige, the Batman Begins, and I think that's about, Memento as well. How can I forget that? Oh, well, forgetting things, you know what I mean? Memento go hand in hand, so that's pretty funny. But I feel like the 2010s actually cemented Christopher Nolan as one of the greatest directors of all time with Inception, The Dark Knight Rises, and also Interstellar. I mean, he's kind of solidified himself pretty much as the director of our era, at least, maybe of all time. So I just wanted to do this clip, and like I said, I'm going to explain it after, or explain how I believe that it's actually real, and Alfred is actually living this life, you know what I mean? So let's jump into the clip, guys.
Prosperous and happy. I see that I hold a sanctuary in their hearts.
I think this ending for this movie is probably one of the best endings I've ever seen in a movie.
Generations hence.
And the fact that it wraps up the whole trilogy is just
far
great.
Better thing that I do than I have ever done. It is a far, far better rest that I go to.
Now look at the talent in this movie.
Than I have ever known.
Gary Oldman, Michael Caine, Gordon Levitt Jr., Morgan Freeman, Anne Hathaway, Christian Bale. Just unbelievable.
I'm so sorry. I failed you. You trusted me.
Probably the best Batman adaptation ever, this whole trilogy.
Can I change your mind? About quitting the Force?
You know,
I like how it was
structures
set in real,
You were right, and I
like
can't
a real
take
world atmosphere.
injustice. I mean, no one's ever gonna know who saved an entire city.
They know.
It was the Batman.
Hey. This scene is just great. The music, Hans Zimmer always does his job to a phenomenal level.
Mr. Wayne's will was not amended to reflect his more modest estate. Nonetheless, there are considerable assets to dispose of. The contents of the house are to be sold to settle the estate's accounts, and the remainder is left in its entirety to Alfred J. Pennyworth. The house and grounds are left to
I'm
the
already
city of
getting
Gotham
chills, guys.
on condition that they never be demolished,
just-
altered, or otherwise interfered with. That they shall be
Trilogy
used
itself
for one
is just
purpose,
amazing.
and one purpose only. The housing and care of the city's at-risk and orphaned children. And my clerk can help anyone with the smaller correspondences and instructions.
Blake, John,
Nothing here.
try my legal name.
You should use your full name. I like that name. Robin.
Thanks.
Why are we even worrying about the stabilization software? This entire autopilot system is completely
Yes.
obsolete.
Please, I just need to know what I could have done to fix it.
But, Mr. Fox, it's already been fixed. Software patch, 6 months ago.
Check the IDM.
That's
patch.
one of the hints.
Bruce Wayne.
Any news on the missing item?
Not yet.
We better leave no stone unturned. We can't leave a string of pearls on the manifest as lost.
A string of pearls. That's a very well set out line, you know? It's pun, I guess. Wow. Just the music, like I said, man, the whole scene, just the fact that they're tying everything together, I mean, it's just unbelievable, man. Christopher Nolan is top of the line director. There's no way around that. I like Gordon Levitt Jr. too, man. Like, he needs to be in a lot more movies. He's a great actor, you know. The bat signal is fixed. Again, another hint that Bruce Wayne actually survived. I like that Bruce Wayne actually went with Selena Kyle and kind of just lived a normal life, you know? Amazing scene, the music, everything, oh my god. What a fucking movie, what a scene, what a trilogy, guys. Oh my god, like, Jesus Christ, what a powerful scene, guys. Like I said, guys, what a scene, what a movie. I mean, that last scene actually just gives me a little bit of chills and kind of like goosebumps. It's just a great way to wrap up a trilogy. But right now I'm going to explain why I think, like the three main reasons why I think Batman or Bruce Wayne survived. So he did fix the autopilot, and this was previously in the movie, we just didn't see it on screen. So he was able to escape the nuclear explosion by jumping out of the bat, obviously, and leaving the bat on autopilot to continue going forward, right? The second piece of evidence is that he stole his mother's pearl necklace back. And if you pay attention at the last scene where Michael Caine or Alfred sees both Bruce Wayne and Selena Kyle, you could see the pearl necklace around her neck. That's a little like Easter egg if you do pay attention. And the third reason is he fixed the bat signal. You know, Commissioner Gordon realized that after he's still alive, Bruce Wayne's still alive. And I guess the fourth scene, like I said, is obvious. It's Alfred actually seeing them in Italy or in Florence or wherever they are. So I personally think he survived. More evidence on that is that even the actors, Michael Caine, Christian Bale, and even Christopher Nolan kind of all allude to it. But they always say in their own opinion. They don't really come out and say this is definitively what happened. And I think the reason for that is they don't want to kind of set anything in stone. That way this movie has more legs and people will always talk about the ending because it's kind of ambiguous. You could kind of say that it was a dream, and the previous Christopher Nolan movie that came out was all about dreams. So that leaves people with, I think, they're more skeptical about this ending, right? So that's a kind of cool way to leave one of the greatest trilogies, I feel like, ambiguous. You know, you're not really sure whether or not Bruce Wayne survived or not. Like I said, I believe he survived, but it's left up to the audience to kind of figure it out by yourself. You know what I mean? Whether or not you want him to survive is whether or not you will make him survive, right? So that's how I feel about the movie. Again, like I said, a great scene. And I love the last movie. Like, the first time I saw it, I didn't like it as much, but I went back and rewatched it a bunch of times. And I find that I love this movie even more. You know what I mean? A lot more, you know? Close to The Dark Knight for me. And I just like the way they wrapped everything up. You know what I mean? And the growth of Batman from the first movie to the last movie. So it's just a phenomenal piece of work. Like I said, this era, the 2010s, kind of solidified Christopher Nolan as definitely the best director of our time. I mean, that's inarguable. There are a few other directors here and there that you could kind of compare him to, but maybe even of all time. My favorite director, of course, is Steven Spielberg. I think he's definitely the best director of all time. James Cameron second, and then Christopher Nolan third. So he's up there for me, and I go out and support all of his movies. I feel Dunkirk wasn't that good, but it was more of a passion project, so that's kind of his only like hit or miss movie. But What do you guys think about this scene? Did you love this scene? I mean, this scene actually gave me goosebumps and chills in the theater. Like, what a way to wrap up with Trilogy. And I remember walking out of the theater just like happy, just so pleasant and so content of how they wrapped up the movie. I mean, it was just great movie making. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section. But like always, guys, take care of yourself. Stay safe, because this world is dangerous. There's a lot of craziness going on, and there's a lot of crazy people. But most importantly, guys, peace.